Hello and welcome to Enterprise Tech Spotlight. My name is Keith Hales, the CEO of Infosystems. Here on the podcast series, we help business leaders and IT leaders get educated and get involved around the different technology solutions that we discuss, hopefully to enable them to add more value to, and really help their businesses grow. We are coming out of an AI summit that Infosystems just wrapped up in Nashville, and we had a number of different speakers talk on a few different things, specifically around the topic of AI and generative AI. One of our speakers we were fortunate enough to get was Alyssa Bergman from IBM. Her job at IBM is to help businesses by creating content around AI and big data that will basically become education pieces, right? Which is kind of the whole point of the summit. So she was a perfect fit for us. Her talk was around the topics of use cases, specifically customer service, and how AI can be deployed for customer service, and how also AI can be deployed internally for other use cases internally to the business. So whether the customer is an external customer or an internal customer for the different areas of the business, it really was a very important topic as folks wrestle with this idea of AI and where there are some specific use cases to begin deploying AI and where to kind of point their resources towards initially. So we were fortunate enough to get a short interview with Alyssa right after she spoke. And now we're going to play that interview for you, and we'll be back with you here in a few minutes.
Hey, I'm here with Alyssa Bergman. We're at the Artificial Intelligence Summit in Nashville, Tennessee. Alyssa, would you mind quickly introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Alyssa Bergman, and I lead the AI and data learning content development team at IBM.
Okay, and Alyssa just finished speaking to the group here at the Artificial Intelligence Summit, and Alyssa would love to hear just a couple of highlights about some of the information you shared with the group today.
Yeah, so I talked about how we can really accelerate and make these next generation conversational AI platforms using generative AI. And a couple key pieces that I like to mention when we're talking about generative AI and conversational AI, one being that it's not only going to make your customers a lot more happier because they're going to be pointed to the right answers, the right data, and the conversational AI is going to understand their intent behind their questions, but it can also be implemented internally for your own employees because they're able to search and find frequently asked questions or search for those hard documents to find and get things done a lot quicker so they don't have to bother their managers, or they can get back to the work that actually matters.
That's awesome. And you sort of answered some of the next question that I was planning to ask, but there's a little bit more than you can share here, I'm sure. But when you mention artificial intelligence to people today, obviously ChatGPT comes to mind, and but the theme of this event today is artificial intelligence for business. What are some of the conversations that business leaders should be having inside of their companies right now about artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so business leaders should really be asking the question of, how can I add AI to what I'm doing, but how can I lead with AI? So leading with AI means implementing, in terms of customer service, implementing a conversational AI platform, and then allowing your employees to go and use that to help them find answers to questions that might be more difficult to find, or use it to answer customer service questions a lot quicker. So we're starting with AI and then giving our employees the tools that they need to be able to do their jobs a lot better.
And Alyssa, there was some great information shared in your presentation today. Unfortunately, not everybody who's watching these videos are going to be able to hear the bulk of your presentation. However, if you are interested in a conversation about AI for business, and particularly Alyssa's topic of AI and data, please feel free to reach out for a conversation, because our teams at Infosystems and Arrow, our distributor partner for IBM technology, and IBM specialists like Alyssa here are available for conversations. So we'd invite you to reach out, hear about all of the things that you didn't get to hear by not participating in the event today, and look out for opportunities in the future when we repeat these types of events where you can come and hear these presenters in person. But Alyssa, thank you so much for participating, and great content.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hello and welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed that interview with Alyssa Bergman. It was great to hear her speak on the topics of how an organization should start with those use cases of customer service internally and externally, and really how an organization can be seen as a leader around AI, and different leaders inside your business can lead on those topics. Something that I'm going to say you probably were unfortunate if you were not in the room for the summit, because she gave a very interesting use case that I do want to explain to you that I think was quite interesting. She actually pulled up a bank that's local to her where she lives, and went through and kind of used the basic chatbot. We've all seen these, right? We've all gone to a website, whether that's a bank or maybe some type of telephone company or utility company, and we put a question in, and there's a chatbot experience that we've had. And frankly, we all know that unless it's the most basics of questions, that we're not going to get very good answers from that chatbot. But she was able to show during her speech that she provided how she was able to, leveraging Watson X, which is an IBM product, and data that she was able to collect from their website in about an hour or less worth of time, create her own chatbot. So I'm going to say that again. She created her own chatbot using publicly available information from a bank's website that's not hers, that's not currently working with IBM, and the Watson X tool. And she actually showed us live during her presentation how that chatbot was able to provide her better, more accurate answers to questions than the existing chatbot that is the current live one on their environment was able to. It was quite entertaining from just a kind of a fun way to think about AI, but also it was quite encouraging, right? That with current technology that exists today, that tools that exist from IBM, and basically just data sets and content that has already been written by this company because it's publicly available on their website by the existing bank, that just feeding that data into the Watson X engine was able to create a chatbot that transparently was providing exponentially more value to the customers. Now, that's just one example of how a customer service environment can be improved leveraging AI. I think we all know that these topics like ChatGPT and some of these other things, if you've done any study or any looking into how much time and money and effort was spent building these natural language engines, it's frankly something that most companies, unless you're the biggest of the big Fortune 100 type companies, most companies don't have the time or the resources, the money or the know-how to build those models. But with these different tools that are out there, with these different existing natural language engines, an organization can take a trusted version of one of those, create their own environment, leveraging the existing work that these other tools have done or these other companies have done, and then leveraging documentation that the company has already built. Maybe it's best practices, maybe it's policies and procedures documents, maybe it's just marketing material, and feed that data as reference material back into the existing model, the existing AI engine, and create a user experience that's far superior to what an organization is doing today with the existing tools that they may have on their website, or may have in their internal help desk, or may have deployed appropriately inside their business. And that's not a criticism of those existing tools. It's just with these, with AI natural language engines, there's really been a pretty monumental leap in the functionality that is available from that companies have at their fingertips than versus even a year or two ago. So I would encourage any business that has that use case where they're doing customer service out to the public, out to their customers, or that's doing a lot of internal communication where they have maybe an HR department or a help desk department or some other group that's servicing internal customers, to really strongly consider leveraging these tools because of the quality of the experience that can be given now to customers, and frankly can be done at a much lower cost, and it's not going to break the bank from a time, a budget, a resource perspective, obviously you need to have someone who's knowledgeable around all the different subject matters and subject matter experts. But with tools like the watsonx tool and some of the other tools that exist out there, we can easily create a value added experience at a much faster, frankly, at a much more economical level than before. And this is not, we're not only talking about really the Fortune 100 or even the Fortune 500. These are companies, use cases that are available really for the commercial in some cases, and even in this down to the small business use case. So I hope to challenge you to say, this is not just pie in the sky stuff. It exists today. As I mentioned, the example that we gave was Alyssa spent 1 hour on it. Now, Alyssa's smart, and I don't want to minimize her abilities, but if you're intelligent and you understand this technology, that probably within a few hours or a few days, you could build a working model on these topics that is adding value back to your business. Whereas before, AI obviously took multiple levels of investment and time and dollars to get to that point. So that's my encouragement. If you have any questions on this topic, I encourage you to go find content from the IBM team that Alyssa puts together on AI and big data. Reach out to the Infosystems team. If we can be of assistance, even if nothing else, just get you pointed in the right direction. Hopefully we can answer your questions quickly. And I really appreciate you spending the time with us today, and hope to have you back next time. Thanks a lot, and hope you have a good rest of your day.